be honest with yourself. There's a relationship that you've been struggling to commit to. And no, it's not your partner. No, it's not being a better friend. It's being better to yourself. Hi, I'm Eliana, and welcome to the first episode of Stuck to Free podcast, where we discuss topics that will grow your mindset and empower you to become the best version of yourself, thus, happier than you were when you first started listening. So, I wanted to jump straight in today, and today we're going to be talking about relationship in your life. And no, it's not the person you're going to marry, it's yourself. And the reason why is because the people that you attract are a reflection of yourself and the unhealed versions of yourself that you dislike. So if you're a person that has been attracting the wrong people or constantly getting cheated on, it's not necessarily your fault, but it is a reflection of the fact that you don't love yourself enough to put up boundaries to be able to find someone good enough for your standards. Because the reason why people attract bad people is because they don't love themselves, so they want someone else to love them. And the reality is that if you cannot love yourself, nobody else is going to love you because you don't even know who you are because you don't like yourself. So that's what we're going to begin with today, is talking about how important that is and how to shift from not liking yourself to being able to have the best relationship with yourself, because it is so important to like yourself. And the reason why is because you are the only person that is 1,000% going to stick with you through your entire lifetime. Yes, you can meet someone wonderful, for example, I did, that I'm going to spend the rest of my life with, but we're not going to die on the same day. That is not the most likely probability. So the way that you're going to start liking yourself is, first, look at what you enjoy. Do you enjoy working out? Do you enjoy reading? Embrace the habits that are good for you. Embrace what you enjoy, because that is when you're going to start liking yourself, because you're going to develop the habits into a talent that you can make meaningful in your life and possibly a career. The second thing that you should do to start liking yourself is cutting off the bad habits that may not serve you. So, for example, if you're a vapor, listen, flavored air is temporary and causes popcorn lung and can kill you. If you like yourself enough, you will teach yourself the discipline to not always indulge in the things that are toxic towards you. There is a balance, and that means, for example, I still drink tequila at least 2 times a week, but I'm not drinking every single day to the point where I'm drunk. That is called self-respect and liking myself enough to dedicate my time to things that are healthy for me, while also still indulging it sometimes in the things that are bad for me. So that is an example of things that you should probably avoid and build balance in. The way that you're truly going to learn to love yourself is teaching yourself how valuable discipline and self-respect is. And like I said, that means not overindulging in the things that are not good for you. And once you start doing that, you're going to attract what truly serves you. And what that means is, when you start putting good into things that you actually enjoy and that are good for you, you're going to attract more good in your life. And if you're a lonely person and you have zero friends and you've been struggling to find a relationship, once you work on yourself and you learn how to love yourself and you develop the habits and talents that you actually enjoy, you're going to attract the people that actually belong in your life. You're going to attract the perfect partner. But the first step is attracting yourself. And what I mean by that is, attracting yourself is just working on yourself and respecting yourself enough to dedicate the majority of the time of your day to developing yourself, to evolving who you are. Because honestly, you're never going to be happy if all day all you do is scroll on your phone and watch other people live their lives. You only have one life to live. So if you want to be happier, if you want a better quality of life, the biggest form of self-respect that you can give yourself is dedicating the time that you deserve to build the life that you want. So that is the first and second step, is self-respect and discipline. So we talked about all these important things, but I never really went into the most important part of this podcast, which is knowing how. And honestly, I love Nike's word of just do it, But let me explain to you how to do it in a simplified way that makes it easier so you don't have to think, you just have to do. So, if you want to learn self respect and discipline, you have to reflect on what you're doing that is wrong. So, ask yourself, am I active? Do I work out at all? Or do I just sit on the couch all day and scroll on my phone? 2, am I just eating a bunch of fast food or am I taking care of my body? 3, am I getting enough sleep? And 4, what does the time in my day look like? What am I doing all day? Am I working all day at a job that I absolutely hate? Or am I just laying on the couch and doing absolutely nothing? Am I just on the phone with friends I don't even like talking crap about everybody else? So you have to reflect on those things. And the way that you're going to build discipline is you're going to look at what you can improve of that. Okay, you've never stepped foot in a gym in your life, but in high school you used to do cross country like I did. Okay, so you're going to pick up the old pair of running shoes or get a cheap pair from Walmart or Target, and you're going to start by walking maybe half a mile a day. Boom. You got the fitness, you're starting to take care of your body more. The more you show up and commit to even just fitness, the better you're going to feel about yourself and the more you're going to like yourself because you're treating yourself with the care that you would treat anybody else that you care about, or at least I would hope so. Second, your body is a temple, and honestly, if you have no energy and you're depressed, it's most likely because of your nutrition and what you're eating. So, put down the fast food and start eating whole foods with a little bit more protein and drinking your water. I'm telling you, nutrition is a huge part because we are what we put in our bodies. Our bodies are an engine. So if you're not eating the right thing, if you're not taking care of yourself, you're never going to build discipline because you're going to be too exhausted to. 3, what are you doing all day? If you want to become something, look at what you enjoy and make it into something you want to do with your life. For example, even if you just like playing video games, okay, start streaming them. Start doing something with it. Start doing something with your day. Because once again, once we're developing these habits and a routine, you're going to start liking yourself, especially if the habits that you're doing are healthy instead of just doing the unhealthy habits. So that is the third step, and honestly, it's the most important, is building a routine. So the best way to build a routine is reflect on all those questions, look at what you actually have to do in the day, which means if you have a job, if you work a 9 to 5, okay, well, wake up a little bit earlier to go to the gym. Maybe go to the gym at night. The whole point is that it takes 30 minutes to an hour a day to do things that you love, to make time to do things that you love. And I bet that you spend at least 3 hours of your free time doing things that you hate anyways. So the more that you do things you enjoy, the happier you're going to be. And if you see a puppy here, his name is Baby Bolt, and he's a big part of this podcast because I got this dog because I needed to learn discipline of taking care of myself. I used to always sleep in and lay in bed all the time, and that's just because I've gotten comfortable with life. And when I got him, it made me a dog mommy and made me take a lot of responsibility. So a part of all of these steps is learning self-respect, discipline, and being able to self-reflect to build a routine that serves you. And let's move into the fourth step, which is the most important step, forgiving yourself. If you do not heal from the things that you've been through, you're never going to love yourself because you never forgave yourself. Even if you were just the victim in that situation, to be able to love yourself and be happy with yourself, you have to be happy with the life that you've lived. And I'm going to show you a tattoo that really does summarize this. This is called Shiitake Nai. It means it is what it is, or what cannot be helped in Japanese. And the reason why it's Japanese is because my father served in Okinawa, Japan, so it's the reason why it's in Japanese. But when you go through things, you have to take it with a grain of salt and take the experience without taking the burden of the experience. So no matter what you go through, learn the lesson and move on. Don't stay miserable because something awful happened to you. Make something good out of any bad situation, and that's how you're going to learn to love yourself. So a great way of healing, you can go to therapy. It's usually covered by insurance. You can talk to a friend, or You can just reflect and journal with yourself and come to a resolution, because there's not always a reason why, but there's always a how to prevent that, a how to make it better. So that is the entire podcast conversation today, is building a wonderful relationship with yourself and how you do that. So just self-reflect, build a routine, build discipline, have self-respect, and heal from your traumas. And to end this episode, we're going to talk about the future of this podcast. So to begin with, studio is going to change in a couple months, and the reason why is because I'm moving out of the college apartments. Thank goodness, because these are too small, and I'm finally fortunate enough to be in a situation where I can move to a bigger studio. And what does that mean? Better content, better theming, because I get to decorate the entire place with brand new furniture, more content overall. And that doesn't just include the podcast, it includes fitness, that includes lifestyle, and that includes a lot more collaborations, just because I'm going to have a lot more space and availability to make those connections. So stay posted on that part. So we're going to finish this out because I have to head to my summer courses to go ahead and try and graduate before I'm 22 with the pre-physician's assistant bachelor's. So I wanted to thank everybody who has been following me from Instagram and throughout my life with my fitness transformation, as well as waiting on this podcast. So I wanted to thank you guys on that. I wanted to thank anybody watching and anybody new. And just stay posted. I'm going to be posting this podcast at least once a week on YouTube and other platforms, but I also post every single day on Instagram, and I'll also be posting at least 4 times a week on YouTube, and it will include fitness, it's going to include mindset, it's going to include nutrition, and clothing hauls, because I'm very addicted to online shopping. So stay posted on that, and I will talk to you guys soon.